show that not just with us in our practice, with the people we care for, but right now at this critical time of chiropractic and the adjustment it's getting and the whole adjustment that the planet is getting as well. So what is our major premise? I mean, think about this. A universal intelligence is in all matter and continually gives to it all its properties and actions, thus maintaining it in existence. Principle 2, the expression of this intelligence through matter is the chiropractic meaning of life. Did that not blow your mind when you heard that? Did it not take you to another level of why you had to be a chiropractor? It did for me and Tom. Life is necessarily the union of this intelligence and matter, because it is one. It is one. Deductive, inductive. BJ probably introduced that concept to many of us. And it's an interesting concept, and we know it as chiropractors. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. And you know, as chiropractors, because we grew up with deductive reasoning, and that's how we approach, we kind of take it for granted that everybody else does that. That they have a major premise of which vibrates every cell in their body with passion, and they deduce from that. And we as chiropractors deduce from the major premise how to have our babies, how to raise our babies, how to interact with people, how to connect. Everything in our life is deduced from that major premise because that's how we do it. And yet there's inductive, and it has its value. However, it compartmentalizes and segregates and separates. And coming from the little pieces, you can never get a glimpse of that whole and what's greater than the whole. So what is vitalism? It's inductive. And mechanistic approach is that inductive. And again, so we use this word vitalism, and that's all that we're saying. When somebody's vitalistic, they have that major premise. They own that major premise. And so, of course, there's a universal intelligence, and of course there's respect for the process. And we can immediately understand above, down, inside, out from that. And then in practice, of course we trust in the wisdom of the body, and we encourage and support the people that come to us. And care is for the good of the whole. Because when this one cell in the planet functions better, so will all the other cells in that organ, family, community, state, country, world. And we get to the cause by enhancing function. We want to support the process. Now, I want to take this philosophy and bring it with us and stay with me on this. And we are at a critical time here in the earth. You know, we tend to live our lives and we see there's lots of stuff going on politically, ecologically, socially, spiritually, all aspects. The earth itself is being shook. There's a father who came into my office and he said to me, he goes, "Listen, Jeannie, I'm really afraid to vaccinate, and I'm just as afraid not to vaccinate my son. What do I do?" And I said, "Well, don't do anything. Don't do anything out of fear. Fear is not the place to make a decision or make a move. You've got to release the fear and get to a place to make it." And I said, "Well, obviously you've educated yourselves. Now what you have to do is find the major premise. And here is the major premise of chiropractic. Does that work for you?" Because when you have a major premise, all decisions from that point on can come from above, down, inside, out. And all decisions will not be fear-based, but will be based on the movement of that. As we see all hell breaking loose in this world and in this profession, we can see that people are lacking this principle. They don't even know it exists. Even in our profession, they never even heard the major premise. So they don't even know that that's there. And some people are saying, well, it's evil times, it's terrible times. And there's a lot of judgment, and there's a lot of ridicule, and a lot of holier than thou. Well, I do know something of the principles, so I'm better than you. In this profession now, the fight that's going on, the craziness that's going on, and even within the principled group, how everyone is fragmenting and separating as opposed to connecting. It will knock us down if we continue to go in that way. We need the biggest adjustment we can ever get right here and now on this planet. We need a complete transformation in consciousness.